Shema Yasa'Allah Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yasa'Allah Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yasa'Allah Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad. Shalom Akim. It's the high spirit wind Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp. Giving all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Dash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings as well as health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, today I want to go into a live stream entitled Shaking Off the Dust, Getting Used to Righteousness. As it says in Isaiah 6:60, all right, as it says in Isaiah 60, how we got to shake ourselves from the dust. And I'm out here at the park, all right, as you can see, it's springtime. And some I've noticed everything springs forth out of the earth during spring. So we're really in a new year, you know, around Passover. That's the beginning of the new year. All right. As you can see, things are, the hatchlings hatch, the little ducklings, you know, because I've been here all year and I only see them around the springtime. So that shows you power in what it really means, the new year, new spring forth out of the earth. All right, so that's one group of parents with their hatchlings, and up here, up yonder, all right, you have another group of ducklings and their hatchlings, man. So, you know, showing you the springtime. But the reason why I'm doing this live stream, nevertheless, all right, the reason why I'm doing this live stream, all right, is something that was on my spirit. You know, I experienced a few things growing up in this truth, and one of the things I've experienced is that you have to get used to Yahweh's way. You have to get used to Yahweh's way because we've basically been institutionalized, all right, in wickedness, all right? So even when you come into the knowledge, there's certain paths in the truth that it's like a door that you've never opened. So naturally, you're skeptical about certain things. For example, you know, a brother, he might be used to shaving, all right? It might have been second nature for him to shave. You know, he might have had a little goatee or a little mustache. So it's almost like, man, I feel barbaric. I feel weird if I don't shave. All right. I feel weird if I don't shave, or, you know, just being honest, you know, you was born and raised in American culture, born and raised in black culture for most of us, or Hispanic culture. All right. It's second nature not to ask a woman if she got a man. It's second nature to just go with the flow. And a lot of chicks, not all of them, but a lot of chicks, they don't really want you to ask them. All right. All right, so you got to get, it might feel weird asking her if she got a man. All right, you have to get used to righteousness. All right, and the reason why I'm doing this lesson, all right, is because I remember when I used to go to the herbal store, I would be skeptical about using certain herbs. Like, well, damn, would this herb kill me? I've never heard of this herb, man. What happened if I put it in my body? And I actually be fearful. All right, but here, the whole time I'm growing up eating bologna, I'm growing up eating liver cheese, I'm growing up eating bacon, pork bacon, all right? I done put the worst of the worst in my body culturally, but here I am looking at the Most High's creation, and I'm skeptical. I'm apprehensive about it. Like, I don't know. You know, I've never heard of that. I'm skeptical about putting a plant inside of my body, you know? But I done smoked Black and Miles growing up, smoked weed, you know? But I'm skeptical about putting certain herbs in my body when I first started getting into it. Even now, I probably have certain things that I'd be skeptical over, you know? But here I am, I done grew up eating Skittles, Starburst, you know? We have to shake ourselves from the Babylonian dust, because even if you keep the laws of the Most High, you still have to unplug from black culture, man. You know, you don't want to be an Israelite that's on the surface, you're an Israelite, but when you peel that surface back, you're just Trevante. You know, it's a lot for any brother. His actual name is Trevante, but it's a general name for Jake, you know. But the point is, I'm doing this live stream because you have to get used to righteousness, all right? And it might not be second nature to you, you know. Some brothers came into this truth with dreadlocks, man. That was your look. But now you got to cut your dreadlocks, all right? You know, so some brothers, they fell out when they first woke up because they had to cut their dreadlocks. Or they went to another Israelite sect that didn't require that didn't require them to cut their dreadlocks. You see, some women, all right, you might feel weird dressing modestly, you know, because part of your requirement as an Israelite sister is to dress modest, you know. So if you're a sister that, you know, you came into the knowledge, you believe in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, all right, one of your sacrifices is being modest. All right, it might feel weird to say, okay, I'm gonna let my husband lead. It might feel weird to not to have a group of niggas that you choose from. You just got one guy, you know. Cause it tells us that your wife should be a harlot, but black culture is harlot culture. That's like if you don't got a side nigga, so you loyal to your nigga, you loyal to your man, you might be the black sheep depending on where you at. So you gotta get used to doing it Yahweh's way. You know, I know for a fact it's a challenge for an Israelite woman to kind of submit to her man, especially if her man is dominant, he's assertive. That might be of a challenge because so-called black women are used to really submitting like that. All right, so it's a natural reaction of kind of buck at that, kind of buck back at him. All right, because you never saw him as a leader. All right, see, in the nigga world, in a so-called black culture, the Israelite man is not a leader. He might be everything else. He might be an athlete, all right? He might be a nigga that can fight. You know, he might be that real hood nigga, or he might be a real popular, outgoing guy, but he's not looked at as a leader, all right? But in the world of Israel, the Israelite man, whether he's black, Hispanic, or Native American, he's the leader. It's a patriarch, not a matriarch, all right? In an Israelite community, or in a so-called black community, all right, the head of the house, or not just the immediate house, but the general family is usually a woman. But that's not according to our Bible. That's not according to our way, our heritage. The head of the whole family is the man, and it's men. All right. So you have to get used to a patriarch, man. All right. So a lot of women who so-called come into the knowledge, they don't like the patriarch in Israel. They still want to implement that feminist mindset in Israel, and oil and water doesn't mix, and they get spewed out. Not because we're just some gung-ho macho guys as he-man woman haters. No, that's not the government that Yahweh Bashim and Hawashai set up. But granted, there is room for women within the body, but women are helpmeets, women are nourishers, women assist. All right, they exist within a feminine frame, all right, not a masculine frame. We don't need women for masculine frame. We need women for feminine frames, all right? And that's pretty much the point. We have to shake ourselves from the dust. You got brothers and sisters, and you got people in the world, man, all right? You can't make them eat healthy. They're not used to going to a restaurant and not getting chicken tenders. All right, I'm not knocking it. If you buy chicken tenders, buy your chicken tenders, because it's not a sin. All right, but you gotta get used to not eating this standard American diet, because really, when you come back to your heritage, not only do you follow the dietary law, all right, you do it by way of really the Mediterranean way. So yeah, at one level, in the beginning level, it is about not eating pork, catfish, and shrimp, you know, but you still shouldn't be eating a standard American rendition of the Hebrew law, man. The Hebrew dietary law. All right, so okay, you don't eat pork, but you eat Popeye's chicken every day. All right, you eat Burger King, man. But it might be second nature for you to eat that church's chicken. It might be second nature for you to eat that Popeyes, man, because that's how you were raised. That's why I entitled this live stream, Getting Used to Righteousness. Ultimately, getting used to our heritage. Because it's not a sin to eat Popeyes, but once you understand the nature of your ops, which is Esau Edom, all right, he poisoned that fast food, man. Every now and then you're gonna eat, you know, you're gonna deviate, you know, but that shouldn't be your lifestyle, man. And I'm not saying this to be, oh, you should do this, you should do that. It's for your own good. A lot of health issues that we have is because of the standard American diet. A lot of the health issues that you have because you rely on Esau's pharmaceutical medicine, and it has a negative ripple effect of dependency. All right, you should need 10 different forms of medication for your ailments, man. All right, your body is not compartmentalized. All All right, so you should need different forms of medication. But that might have been how you've been doing it for the last 25, 30, 35 years before you woke up. So certain things is at a subconscious level of dependency. All right, so we have to get used to Yahweh's way, used to depending on what Yahweh put into the earth, pursuant to Sirach 38. All right, we have to get used to. A lot of times, you'll be better off buying your food from the grocery store as opposed to getting it fast food all the time. You know, you might have to get used to warming up your oven and baking that fish, baking your chicken. All right, some brothers and sisters not used to lamb. I didn't grow up eating lamb, but I eat it now. All right, so it's nothing that you can't learn off a YouTube video. Things that you're not used to, you can watch a YouTube tutorial on how to prepare lamb, how to prepare salmon. All right, if you're a sister that never cooked, it's not a problem. All right, but now, and to be honest, it'll only add to your marriage market value. When a woman knows how to cook, that increases her marriage market value. All right, I'm from the South, so there's almost an expectation, like, can she cook, but within our nation, cooking is big as hell in our nation, man. All right, preparing herbs for everything, that's a necessity, especially to someone who understands the value. You see? But going back to the brothers, man, carrying ourselves like men. And here's another one. You might not like this, but brothers be sagging. Brothers coming to the knowledge, they still got their drawers showing, man. You still got your fucking drawers showing, man. But you feel weird, be real. You feel weird with your pants up your ass, man. Because you was born and raised in nigga culture, man. You feel weird with your pants all the way up. The type of pants you wear, it don't look right with your pants up your ass in your mind, man. Hey, the scripture says, remember this and show yourselves men. All right? It's something called decency. All right? Just how a woman shouldn't walk around with her titties out, her ass out, all right? With some tight, loud clothing. A man, all right? Whether you 13, 14, 15, or 26, 36, you should not be sagging, man. All right, but in all honesty, that old man might feel awkward if he's not sagging. You might feel weird or squarish like, man. But that's that old man feeling weird, man. That's the old man talking, man. There's no such thing as a lame in Israel. A lame means that you handicapped. Or you can't walk. That's a lame. The scriptures, our heritage generates lames socially because a man's supposed to have a quiet, peaceful life. The scripture says, follow not a multitude to do evil. So in the land of America, if you're doing what everybody else doing, then you disobeying the laws because you following multitudes, man. All right? You're supposed to have a peaceful, quiet life where people don't know too much about you, man. All right? That's the way of the East. How do we know? Look at East Indians. It ain't too many popular East Indians. It ain't too many popular Elamites on social media and they Instagram popping. If they're traditional, they're just family oriented. And really, that's our nation. That's our heritage. We don't really know that women like that. They got a woman and she just popping on social media. All right. But Keisha, in her world, she's a celebrity, man. But that's not our nation. That's not our heritage. That's not our way. So you got to get used to nobody knowing your business. You got to get used to not exposing yourself to men because you're used to that shit. You got to get used to not wearing tight shit all the time. All right? What I'm saying is lesson because I understand through the spirit that some of that stuff, it might be uncomfortable. It might be uncomfortable. Your man tell you to do something and you got an instant reaction to like buck up against it. So you got to stop and compose yourself and be like, okay. All right? Especially if your man is decent. You see? He ain't got you doing no outrageous stuff, not bark like a dog. Okay, let me check this comment board. Brother asked me a question. I've seen an old video of you doing a lesson on, that's that colloidal gold. Do you still take that product and how did it work for you, the water? I don't take it right now. I think it's like $70 a bottle. So that's not something that I would buy just consistently. But to be honest, I will buy it again. All right. And it was very productive. What happens when I took colloidal gold, it enhanced my creativity. All right, I'm answering the brother's question on the comment board. When I took colloidal gold, it enhanced my creativity. So like I said, it's like $70 a bottle, last time I checked. All right. But it enhanced my creativity. I was coming up with all type of ideas, not only for lessons, but little projects I'd be working on the side. It has enhanced my creativity. All right. I would like to think I had vivid dreams. I had a dream about the chariot, more like a vision. It was so vivid, man. I had a dream about the chariot when I was on colloidal gold. I might have had it twice when I was on that colloidal gold. But to answer your question, off the bat, colloidal gold increased my creativity, and it gave me vivid dreams. All right, our body has a certain percentage of gold inside of it. Any element that's in the periodic table, our body contains a small trace of that. So we're supposed to put that back in us. So to answer your question, I still recommend it because you're supposed to put gold in you, actually. And also, it was a great benefit to me. Some things I'd be in it for a while, then the spirit had me somewhere else. But no, that was a good benefit there, colloidal gold. Another thing, we didn't grow up knowing about colloidal gold, colloidal silver, colloidal copper, colloidal platinum. It's all those things you could get in this colloidal form, which is basically is liquid form to where you can actually ingest it as a human. Okay, we gotta get used to our way. Not depending on Esau 110%. We still here, we still subject to payments, but we just not depending on him 110%. It's certain things we can do ourselves, and that's how you get some of that power back, by getting some of that self-sufficiency back. You see? But the reality of coming to this truth and doing away with the old man and being born again, it takes time to detox from nigger culture, man. How do I know? I've been out of high school for a long time. I've been outside my old neighborhood for a long time, but certain things still comes back in my memory. I know for a fact that I was affected by the environment that I grew up in. So it really takes time to detox, from black culture. Now, I ain't saying I was the hoodest, wildest nigga, but I was affected by that mindset that was in that environment. And it takes time away from that environment to detox and really change your way of thinking, man. All right? It's really healthy to come into the knowledge and then move away from everybody, man. Like you grew up in a dark environment, it's really good to come into the knowledge, get you a better job, just kind of move away from that old environment, because that'll help you change your mindset, man. Sometimes you're in a position you in because you're in a inferior mindset. All right? You cause your own sufferings and you cause your own stress based on the mindset that your old culture cultivated in you. You see? So we gotta get used to Yahweh's way. They said, old things are done away with, you see? That's the reality of being a new creature. But it's a process to being a new creature. We here to please Yahweh Shai and not the world, so who cares how niggas of the world views your transition? All right? We're transitioning in the spirit. Now we're living after the spirit, not after the flesh. So the things we do is for the spirit. Even the hobbies is for the spirit, as well as your health and well-being. You got a brother that got a massage for the first time. All right, he said he fell asleep, man. His body needed it that much. You got a salt cave down here in Mississippi. I go to that salt cave, man. You got all type of stretching exercises. Your bodies need that, man. Especially the type of jobs a lot of us work. All right, brothers and sisters have never detoxed. You've never been on a cleanse, and your body needs that. We should be transitioning to eat more healthy, man. By healthy, I mean unprocessed, man. Eat food that actually comes from the earth. You eat your beef or whatever, but make sure, if you're gonna purchase it, put some money behind some grass-fed beef. Grass-fed, grass-finished. All right, shadow of thy wings, 12 tribes, Colossians 3:8. But now ye also put out these things: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. And that's the conclusion of it all. That's the sum of it all, brother. We're putting off the old man and his deeds. That nigga nature, them nigga hobbies, or that nigga lifestyle, that nigga woman lifestyle, that nigga mindset. It's all about that mindset. All right, Yahweh Shah is breaking down and rebuilding our mindset. And that could come by way of correction, reproof, or just straight up reflecting. All right? But we all have growing to do, man. And we all have learning to do. We're here to learn. But hey, till the next time, Shalom.